I felt called to share why this channel has an obsession with Mother Mary. That may be hard to digest for a lot of people who are like Catholic and against prophetic word or like mediumship. That may be against a lot of people who are like New Age and think that Catholicism is like stupid. But I just feel like it's important. Like no one watches this anyway, and it's honestly for my creative process. I'm going through a situation right now in my life, and every day posting, it's honestly for myself to get a message, and for other people. But I see myself as a channel and medium based on several experiences I've had in my life. I've been doing the tarot since I was 23. I'm 38 now, so just giving some background here. Been an astrologer for a long time, since I was like a kid, really interested in astrology. Yeah, so I was raised in the Catholic faith. I did all the things, communion, reconciliation, confirmation, whatever. I got confirmed. So if you know about the religion, that means that you have to go through a lot of catechism. You have to go through all these, you have to like be indoctrinated basically. Sorry about this thing. I'm fine. It's just a thing. So I feel like whether you like it or not, if you go to church from a young age, and I was baptized in the church, so probably started going when I was like a toddler. And you go to catechism once a week, and then you go to Sunday school on top of church. You don't have a good chance for getting this stuff out of your brain. And what most people end up doing if they're raised that way is completely denouncing religion. There was a period in my 20s where I was more interested in Buddhism, but I do love Buddhism a lot, and it's helped me in my life so much. But what am I trying to say? People who know me, or if you're watching this and you've known me, you may not know that like most of my life I've had rosary beads on my person, and I've a lot of times, usually not right now, but had like a miracle medallion necklace, which is a necklace that has an M and a cross, and it's supposed to be it brings miracles from Mother Mary. So that's something that I've like kept, sort of to myself, because people I've known over the years have been judgmental or whatever. But when I was a kid, I had severe asthma. So I was hospitalized many times. I would say at least 15 times. And this is just like short hospitalizations where they like give you like even having a nebulizer at home, you may not like be getting enough treatments, or like they monitor like, what's going on. So that happened a lot as a kid. So that was even before I got alopecia, that was when I was 13. I lost all my hair. Started when I was 12. Anyway, just to give some background of my health journey, why I wear headscarves, because I have alopecia. So I became very connected with Mother Mary, because during those times, when I couldn't breathe, I would envision her and meditate to her and talk to her, because I was scared, because that, a lot of times when you're a kid with asthma, it's dangerous because it can cause hyperventilation, because you're scared that you're not breathing. So that's like a snowball. So, and the meds were like not as good then. So what was I gonna say? They didn't have as many preventative inhalers. So I prayed to Mary a lot as a kid, to be super honest. During these times, usually in my bathroom, I would put on the steam so I could breathe and do my treatment, and then just pray and just be with her and envision her coming to me, and envision that she had an energy of pink light that I could breathe in, and then that I was breathing out darkness when I breathed out. And I did that visualization with her for, I had asthma for all of my childhood, so that's years, And then that really formed a strong connection. And then, as I said, as I got older, I became more reliant on the rosary, like just having it I usually like to have one that's blessed by the Pope that I got online, that it smells like roses, but I don't have one of those right now, but, and I usually like to wear American Medallion, but again, I don't have one of those right now, or like some sort of Mary stuff, but like, so that's my connection. And then, as I'm saying, as I got older, it became more the accoutrements of Mary, whereas when I was a kid, it was like this really intense connection with her, where I was like just visualizing her presence, and I can't say it didn't help. Anyway, so I had in the past year some very intense stuff happen in my life, like wild, extreme, I would say extremely adverse experiences that tested my faith, tested my, to be super honest, I'm sorry if this scares you, made me question my will to live. And I loved Buddha during this time, of course, all the philosophy I've read and Buddhism, but the thing that really helped was Mary, and not specifically Jesus or God, Mary. And of course, Mary is a pathway to Jesus and God. But Mary is a divine mother who leads us and guides us, and she can be mother to everyone, even if you're not Catholic. Mary is the untier of knots. So there may be situations in our lives that feel impossible, and she is the one to go to with those. Mary helps a lot with daily tasks. Like there's something called, I think, is it total contrition? I'm not sure. There's a phrase for giving up all your chores or tasks to be done for Mary, because then she'll apparently like sort of help you get them done. I've had a lot of experiences with synchronicities. It's called Marian synchronicity, where if you're intensely praying, you may have exactly the amount of money. Like say you go to one time I went to a buffet and recently, and I had like it had like exactly $10, which is rare for a buffet. They were like creeped out, like it was $10 even. And the cashier was like, this is weird. And I just knew it was because I was praying to Mary. And then other times I've just had like little money and had like exact amounts for what I needed, like to the penny. That's what I see as Marian activity. But the greater thing is that Mary softens your heart so that you can talk to Jesus and God through her. And for some women, honestly, talking to a man in general about your feelings might be intimidating. But then, having that female maternal presence is something that I don't see in other parts of Christianity. Like I love Joel Osteen, but Protestants, they don't revere Mary. And that's like a huge part of my faith. And then, I love things about Judaism. I love things about Islam, honestly, mainly connection with Rumi and Sufism. I love really things about all religions, even just like pagan Wicca stuff. But when things get really dicey in your life, I think you'll see that these things are not inconsequential. Like these bonds or like ideas that like helped us get through in early life, they're still there and you can tap on them at any time. And for people who don't have that kind of connection, it's harder, honestly. It's harder to find faith. And my answer to anyone who thinks that people who are Catholic can't be tarot readers is, I was born with this gift. I was born intuitive. I didn't cry when I was born, which is often a sign of an intuitive person. And I was always just intuitive and picking up on stuff with people, very sensitive, very psychic from like a young age. And why would I be born that way in God's image if that's not how he wanted me to be? And also in the Bible, there's many stories of people who are prophetic, like for example, Joseph, who has the play is technical, their dream coat. He has the dream coat, and then his brothers push him into a pit and leave him to die. And his sight saves him, actually favors him. Anyway, so there's other stories like Deborah had premonition, even just Isaiah's prophecy of Jesus. These are all psychic people in my mind that are right there in the Bible, and Jesus himself is a major psychic. So I don't think it's wrong. And honestly, if you know about the tarot, a lot of the symbolism is based in Christianity, because the truth is it was a game played in the court, you know, in like French or English courts by royalty, and also by gypsies who honestly were Romanian Catholics. So yes, there's like, it is related to the occult, but it's honestly so much Catholic or Christian imagery in the tarot that I think it's another way to explore these themes, and that may be very controversial for people. And then also, you know, I have issues with the Catholic faith. Like, I don't agree that gay people aren't allowed. I think everyone should be able to be gay if they want to be. I think that's ridiculous. I think that abortion is mandatory and standard, and women need that for life-saving purposes. I don't agree with that. Sorry. And I also, you know, I don't agree, obviously, with papal abuse. And to be super for real, that was a reason that I disconnected from the religion for a while, because my grandmother and her siblings experienced that. So that's very close to home, because they came from a generation where popes were very in the family. So I know all about that and how it affects people and affects generations. But I don't really care so much about like what other people, I don't even really care so much about what the you know, like, I appreciate sermons and stuff. Like, I like go to church and sometimes, and or listen to mass online, and I value what they say, but I care more about like my connection with life. And for me, that has a lot to do with checking in with Mary when I'm feeling scared, when I'm feeling lost, and giving up my path to her, giving up my life to her, letting her guide me and tell me honestly what to do. And it's not like a literal voice that you hear, but it's a feeling of calm. It's a feeling of, I can do this, and it's an energy. And then the idea with Mary is that you're going to take that energy, that calming, healing energy, and bring it to the world and bring it to others.